already in my mind, documentaries. I can do it. You're asking why I've graduated finance and international law. Did I know something? Do I know something from that hardest part? It's just take your ass off from your sofa and start working. You were the person who knocked every single door. This is it's really hard to be a woman in the film industry. You have just today, and you have start today, not tomorrow, not yesterday, today. So this is a difference, to be Ukrainian in Great Britain.
Welcome back to Unedited Talk to episode 6, the show where culture meets reality and nothing gets sugarcoated. Today's guest is someone who didn't just move to the UK, she grew up here creatively. She came to Britain over 12 years ago, built her entire filmmaking career from zero, became a British citizen, and today she runs a production company creating cinematic work for brands, artists, and films. She's not an immigrant struggling to break into the industry. She is in the industry, an award-winning director, the founder of D8R Production, a Ukrainian woman with British perspective and visual storytelling with a sharp identity. Please welcome Mariia Springis.
Wow, Alex, thank you. You're just did you tell about me?
Yes.
I've just realized, is it I did everything?
Yes, you did. I want to say thank you very much for being on my show. Thank you for being on Identity Talk, my English language speaking podcast. Because obviously you were in my Ukrainian podcast. This was almost two years ago. But anyways, we started doing English because I want to represent Ukrainians, Eastern Europeans here in the UK, and I think it's time for Ukrainians, Brits, other nationalities to sit down on one table and to discuss on topics that matters to us. So Mariia, first of all, I want to take you to origins. I want to know a bit about you, and I think our audience want to know a bit about you. So please, you lived in the UK over a decade. Do you feel more British, Ukrainian, or both?
Good question. I would say that I feel both because I still living in the UK. My family is here. My daughter is born here, so definitely I feel really comfortable here by my roots from Ukraine, and I'm still working with my country, and I still support my country. And as I'm always saying that, as I'm creative and I'm working as a filmmaker, I have to do something for my country, and I have a weapon, camera. So this is what I use to help my country, and I'm really proud of myself. I'm really proud of my team, who is really supporting me and for these projects which we did and which we're still working on. And I would say that something mixed between British and Ukrainian. I think it's not. I'm not going to choose. It's just it's a mix and something unique.
You said you have a team and you have a camera. This is the second question to you. What part of Ukrainian identity still shapes the way you tell stories?
Well, it depends of the project. I would say that, to be honest, I'm still producing and directing films for Western audience, but mostly I would say 70% of my team still Ukrainians, because I think the strongest part of Ukrainian, the capability and the how they're working on. I feel really comfortable working with them, and the quality. I'm always saying that my target just to produce the quality and the great content, which Ukrainians brilliantly doing.
Okay, thank you. We will talk about quality a little bit to the podcast. I want to talk about a little bit about you. Before you came to UK, what did you do in Ukraine? Just tell me a little bit about a background story, you in Ukraine to the moment that you arrived to the UK.
So basically, before I moved to the UK, it was 2013 when I moved here. I graduated to universities. I'm master degree of finance and I'm bachelor degree of international law. So I started working in Ukraine. Then somehow I met my future husband in Italy. So I moved here. When I moved here, definitely I had to do something, so I cannot stay without doing things. My first job was at Financial Times, and someone is for everyone, for most of the people, it's a great opportunities. But for me, when I was there a couple of weeks, and I started to get boring because I didn't feel this is like what I want to do every day, because it's not myself that from 9 till 8 working in the office, because I'm the person who I did my job like during a couple of hours, but the rest of the day I just watch the time when it's time just to leave the work. So my contract ended quickly. And I started to think what I have to do, just to feel myself really comfortable. I didn't want to work just for money. I just wanted to do something to passion. But when you do something, when you passion, it's like the best things.
Yeah.
And let me, it was 12 years ago. And then my first daughter born. And I started to film some like short videos, doing some short contents with her for YouTube Kids channel. We started to do a kids channel. We opened. That's how I learned how to film, how to edit, how to manage everything, how everything to organize. And it was a great experience because before that I didn't know that I have something creative. Because I think, okay, I just have my a logical, my mind. So I have to start dealing with finance or with law. But when I, started to learn by myself, not someone told me to do this by myself because I wanted to learn. That's how everything started. And to be honest, I'm really glad that it was in my life because it gave me a huge experience of producing, directing, filming, editing, managing, everything. Even we had dealing with advertisements. So this is like a lot of skills I gained during this all filming. And then somehow I bought a professional camera and I did some nice video and posted on my social media. And public PR agency came to me and said, like, look, looks great. Do you want to do something, commercial? Okay, I think, why not? That's how everything started.
So wait. You started posting things on social media?
Yes.
And a PR company came to you and said, listen, it would be great if you work with us or give us some project.
Yes, exactly, yeah. And it was, during COVID, when the COVID just almost ended. And, they liked my content and they say, okay, let's do something for money. And I said, when I did my first commercial project and I just sat and said, wow, it's great. So you can do what you like, filming, and you can earn money. Seriously. That's how everything started. Then I opened my company and started to do some commercial projects. I'm still doing some commercial projects as well. But all this way lead me to the filmmaking. I mean, like for documentaries, because I did commercials, promotional for companies, for individuals, for everyone. And because this is like a big, niche when you can film everything. But, I wanted to find specific niche when I, just to, more focus and more, gain my skills. And then one very famous journalist came to me and we filmed podcasts as we are doing right now. But at that time, I stood behind the camera. And I had this is like a great experience, how she managed, how she asked questions. It was so flawless, how it works. And it's really hard, not easy. It's hard to to ask questions. Somehow who is sitting and watching YouTube podcasts thinks, oh, it's easy just asking your interview questions, but it's not easy as it looks like. And you have to have this all skills. That's why I gained these skills. I was so impressed how she asking Then next one, her episode, and she had such a great person who she's talking, and their story was so amazing. When I, sat behind the camera listening this story, and I already imagined this in like a picture. It's already like a script. You don't need a writer to write a script. It's already the story. So when we finished that interview, I came to her. Look, your story is incredible. Have you ever think just to do some documentary about your story? And they said, we never thought about it. Maybe potentially. That's why already in my mind documentaries. I can do it. And it was great. It's already, how can I say? It's like you start to think about documentaries. But at that time, I already, to work and for commercials and earn money. So doing some documentaries, it means that if somebody can come to me and asking doing documentary, of course, great. But I didn't have any examples in my portfolio, so it means that I have to do something by myself to have this case, and then you can show this case and start doing documentaries. That means that when you follow, your path, everything just, leads.
But Mariia, I just want to know, how is it? It's interesting. Do you know why it's interesting? You were in finance. And after this, you went into filmmaking. Did you have any training in filmmaking? Did you do any training on filmmaking? Did you do any courses? Or is it now that you started doing courses?
When you're asking why I've graduated finance and international law, did I know something? Do I know something from that, degree?
Because it's two different industries. You got finances and filmmaking. That's two different.
I would say, all your, knowledge you just gain from your experience. Even, to answer your question, I gain all my, knowledge through my experience. This is it. And, to be honest, when I came here and when I had this opportunity just to start doing another, education here in the UK, I just said, no, enough. To education, enough for me, because I understand. I'm not telling that you don't need to, university degree. Of course, you have to do, but it doesn't mean that you have to, work as you, as a finance as I was. I tried myself, but I didn't like it. So, but basically, it's not about that I don't like finance. I still using finance because to be the CEO of a production company, I have dealing with finance. I have to do this all reports, and with the law, I prepare contracts for my clients. So it means I still using this old knowledge which I gained in university, but I find myself in a different industry. And when I met my colleague who just recently graduated from university, and during his master degree, I asked him, "Can you show me what are you, learning? What can you show me? What are you?" And when he showed me, this, their papers, what they're studying, I said, "Wow, seriously, for master degree, you just it's for basic thing, for me, it's just what basic because I already knew it, and and that means even if you graduated as a filmmaker here, it doesn't mean that you're going to be a great director or producer in the film industry. It means that you will have knowledge, but it doesn't mean that you will will have a great career. So it's hard to say it, but it means that not success when you experience, it's a key point in this industry: experience and creative vision. This is how it works.
Thank you, Mariia. Thank you for that. The whole description. It was interesting to hear it.
Alex, can you be successful podcaster from the first episode?
No, it depends. To be honest, it depends. Well, to be successful from the first episode, I don't think so.
From which episode you can think you can be successful?
I think you need to do a couple. A couple, you need to, like you said about that woman, in that woman that was asking the right questions and knowing how to ask the right questions. Because being a presenter and being someone behind camera is two different things. Because I think as a podcaster, you're not only learning how to present, how to invite guests. You're also thinking about how do I make reels? What description do I use? How do I use titles? You're also thinking about okay, one-on-one is one, but how do you moderate with 2 or 3 and 4 different guests as well? You also you need to understand your audience. What do your audience want? I think there's a lot of things involved. I don't think one episode of podcasting will make you successful. It will go viral. You can go, your videos, your podcast can go viral, but from one video, no. And I think it takes time because you have to master your techniques. You need to know how to ask questions. And the more you do, and also reviewing. I think also when you review your podcasting and then you listen to other people say, hey, Alex, why didn't you change this? Why didn't you do this? You did this bad. You did this good. And then you watch other big podcasters and you see what they do. You're thinking, oh, you know what? They do this great. Why don't I implement that in my podcast as well? Obviously not changing everything because you don't want to change the way you do your podcasting. But I don't think one episode is fine. I think it's couple. And I think it's not just experience. I think you get to a certain point. You get to a certain point where you're going to start realizing, okay, how do I monetize my podcasting? How do I invite better guests? Blah, blah, blah. And obviously training involved as well. And also, I want to say another thing as well. Training, presenting is good, but I think it's also learning how the production is done as well. That's very important for a podcaster.
So you agree with me. So before you started your podcast, so I'm sure you read a lot of different information, but when you did your first podcast, you already knew that okay, I read, but to be in front of the camera doing podcasts, it's absolutely different story. Yeah. So it's about experience.
100%. No, 100%. Because you can learn the theory, like you said, you can go to university or learn the theory. But I think experience, first-time experience, and then you got a backup track of information that you've done plays a big difference, huge difference. Because think about it, this is 6th episode. Imagine I invited you here on the 20th episode. Obviously, the level, my experience, and how I've improved will.
Of course, and that's what I'm talking about. This is like you're getting better through the experience. Mm. That's why it's very important. Even as I told about my team, I'm still working with some British people with editing, but also, I give, this opportunity for young talents who doesn't have, this is like education, who doesn't know about this, like a day rate or whichever, and, they do brilliantly. Because of this creative part.
Yeah, I think that's another thing as well. I think regarding, when you said about filmmaking, about university and so forth, I think that's what plays the role. If you finish university and you don't have, let's say you don't have experience, I think the creativity plays really a good point. Why? Because you need to be creative on how do I find projects, or even if you do your own project, how do I make it creative that I can show class and say, listen, I finished my university, I don't have experience working in filmmaking, whatever the case is, but I can show you some of my own project. It shows initiative and it shows creativity as well for other people. So that's very important. But what about the team that you're working now? You got Ukrainian team. How do you see the work ethics?
It's not all team. It it depends on the project, and sometimes I involved people around the world. It depends. I meet people every day, from my, industry. And for me, it's very important just to feel that we are on the same wave. This is like a key point when we start working. And first of all, we all need to feel very comfortable working with each other. Otherwise, communication could be really hard. And this could be, have an impact for their final result, which I don't want to, to be in a final result. That's why, I would say 70% of my team, it's Ukrainians all around the world.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay, that's fine. I want to talk about your building your career, but we've touched on it, but I want to ask this question for you. What was the hardest part of starting a creative career in the UK for you?
The hardest part is just take your ass off from your sofa and start working. Otherwise, like you cannot get anywhere. That's why I'm saying that I'm like a person that I'm here. And London, the United Kingdom is a great country, which give you a lot of opportunities, but you have to work to get this opportunity. And it will get to you. That's why there is no like a magic button which you can press and you can get everything. It means that you can work hard, tell about this, and show this. This is like a key. There is no secret.
A lot of people say there's loads of opportunities here in the UK, but some people don't see the opportunity. Do you know why they don't see that? You know what? I think one of the reasons why people don't see opportunities here in London is mindset and who they associate with. That's what I think. What do you think? Because you said UK there's loads of opportunities here, and a lot of people say that. Why do you think some people don't see that opportunity? Like you say, there's opportunity here.
I think every country has different opportunities, and I agree with someone. Some people cannot find themselves here in the London, but they can move in other countries and find very easily. Just like from in the first week, first month. It means that you have to meet your personality with the country just to meet this criteria. And first of all, you need to feel comfortable in this country, and it makes to feel that you can do this and you want to do this in this country. This is it.
Let me ask you this: did you earn respect in this industry?
It's tough industry, I would say, especially in filmmaking. I would say it's hard until you reach some level, and someone a respectable institution will pick you, and you will just promote or whichever, just give you projects. For me, for now, I'm independent filmmaking. It means that if I want to do any projects, documentary projects, I need to figure out how can I get budget and where I can get this budget. I'm lucky person because all my documentaries which I did, not all of them, I mean not about Ukraine, because Ukrainian project it's different. It's my social project which I invest my money, my time, all team work very hard just to produce the documentaries. It's different story. But another my documentary is for now, it was commercial documentaries. So it means that I didn't need to find any financing for this. And it's more interesting that these all commercial projects came to me because I did the social projects. And they saw my skills. They saw how I do everything. And this is, I'm always saying, when you want something, you don't need to chase money for this. Sometimes you just need to do what you like, and it will get you pay off in different way. As an Ukrainian project, it's really, remarkable story, because I invest so many, as I said, time, money, everything, effort, just to knocked every single door, back then in 2023. And I just knocking every single door. I didn't have an experience how it works, what I have to do. So I did the film. So what next? So I didn't have this knowledge through the university that, I didn't have, okay, first, you need to submit to festivals. Okay, second, just try to reach distribution. So I started, maybe I have this a good, gut feeling that, I stepped, and did, everything right. I started with festivals, and that film, it's earned so many awards. So I become award-winning, film director, which is good. And we did screenings around the world. Ukrainian embassy in the UK supported this project, which means a lot for me, and for whole team, for the whole team. And now this project is still on Amazon. And what's more, I'm really proud that this project it helped and it's still helping like Ukrainians, and it brings attention Western audience and Western people, and I'm for this, and from that project, other opportunities come up to me and say, look, Mariia, it was great. Let's do this, and wow, I just remembered, a couple of weeks ago, I had so unexpected callings, emails, and it just so great offers. Maybe I will, for the next podcast, I will tell you another story. But for now, it's just wow, and I just sat and think, okay, it was so unexpected, but it's so huge and great opportunities. Okay, but can you remember 2 years ago, you were the person who knocked every single door. Now it pays you off.
Yeah, 100% right. I want to ask this. You said that you found filmmaking and you started doing it. I want to ask, how did D8R Production start, and what separates your production style from others?
So basically, I opened production company maybe half a year after from my first commercials, which I told you from this PR agency, because it requires me for these all reports, this financial structure. That's it, how it works. And for now, I'm still working with the commercials, and I feel it's balancing, here, because doing just filmmaking, film, it's really tough and hard. And for now, I would say, to be as an independent filmmaker, but balancing doing commercials and documents I think it's like a great, way for now.
I want to go through identity and art for you.
Yeah.
My first question to you, has being Ukrainian influenced how you see beauty, emotion, and storytelling?
Do you mean like Ukrainians? Say again.
Has being Ukrainian, as your Ukrainian roots, influence how you see beauty, emotion, or storytelling? Especially at this time, especially as we both know, our country is at war, and you're in the creative industry.
To be honest, I wouldn't say about it's Ukrainian or British or whichever nationality. I think it's more personally.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say that every Ukrainian can do this. I think it's mostly become personally, because I see other Ukrainians and I cannot tell that they can see some from different perspective. I think it's about your creativity and about your experience, about your knowledge, maybe.
Okay, so what about this one? How do British creative react to Ukrainian creative energy here in UK? You've worked, you see a lot of Ukrainians that maybe your time when they came, and Ukrainians that are arriving now because of the war. How do you? I'm sure in your industry you do see them, Ukrainians. Do you come across Ukrainians, filmmakers, directors, actors here in the UK?
I do a lot, and to be honest, on the beginning, maybe 2023, I faced when I was in British filmmaker community, and we had some talks about Ukrainians, about the war, and they started a conversation about the war, about the Ukrainians, and to be honest, I didn't remember the whole conversation, but I still remember this feeling when they talked about Ukrainians which just came here because of the war, and they told about them, I'm not saying not nice way, but still have some concerns. Mm-hmm. Concerns not about creativity, it's about concerns. I assume it was the family who opened their actually door from their house, and they hosting Ukrainians, and they face some, not issues, but this is I don't know. But as a filmmaker and as being Ukrainian, I explained to them that it's not about the whole national, it's about different people, but it's also, I told that you have to think about what they, went through Ukraine when the war started. It's about mental health as well. They have, this trauma, which, you cannot see, physically, visually, but still there inside. So it's other thing.
100%. Obviously, we know that Ukraine is in Eastern Europe. So my question to you is this. What does Eastern European creativity bring to the British industry? What do Ukrainians, also, let's say go for Ukraine since we're both Ukrainians. What does Ukrainian creativity brings to the British industry? Can we bring anything from Ukraine into the British industry? If I give you an example. A lot of actors from Ukraine has come here. A lot of anyone in your industry have come here, a lot of Ukrainians. Could you say that they can make an impact here?
I think, yes, it's a huge impact. And some of them, just, make a huge impact. And, because of their, of their hard worker. And because, English people that they work hard, but they, if it's work hours, okay, that doesn't matter. It's time to leave. They go home. They have this old, structure. In meantime, Ukrainians, no matter what, they will stay all day long. How long it should need to be there to have to be done. This is all about Ukrainians. It's hard working no matter what.
Do you see that in your team as well?
Yes, that's why I'm really appreciate my team that anytime we went through everything. In Ukrainians we worked at night, we work on weekends, no matter what. Now it's a little bit different, but still, if we need it, we work.
Okay, great. Let me go to the next topic. Women in film. Have you ever felt you had to prove yourself more because you're a woman?
Not really.
Not really. Okay, great.
I would say when I moved here, I tried to prove myself, when I did all these interviews just to get my first job. Because all the time I blame myself because of my English, it's not perfect and everything. And that I thought I didn't, pass these all interviews. But now being here, and no matter how, great my English, it's not about that who people think. It's about my creative part, what I'm producing. And now I just really feel comfortable. Even I'm talking not perfectly English, because it's not like my, how you should, see what I'm doing, who I am. It's not about my English, it's about my work.
Yeah, 100%. What makes a strong female director in 2025?
I would say I would say sometimes in a couple of projects, being a woman in film, it makes me more advantage. And sometimes even the commercials. I had some, clients who just ask women. They don't want to be men.
Let me go to the next one. Do you think women direct differently than men?
100%. But depends of personality of women and men. It's personal. I think it's like in my case, I cannot say that it's like, I'm better than man, I'm better than someone else. It's me, it's me. So I even sometimes in one like a big, huge project when we filmed, I just get access without, any problem because I was a woman. And it was all men and nobody stopped me, and it gave me, this is like opportunity just to catch some unique, shots and to be, next to the Mike Tyson, Eminem, stay next to them. Mm-hmm. So, but to be honest, when when I speak with British filmmakers, I hear a lot about this. Is like it's really hard to be a woman in the film industry. But in my opinion, it depends on personality.
Okay, what's the next big step for you and your company?
I have my wish list. Not even a wish list. It's like my plan. What I want to do. And for now, I have a couple of big projects which we're working on really hard, and fingers crossed. And because I'm the person who never say big words before everything started. That's why I try to be a little bit quiet on the beginning. I just want to show a result. Once the result is ready, I'm ready to to talk a lot about how it was, how everything started. Before that, because I'm the person who I don't want to just show up and just saying the big words and nothing behind these words.
I noticed in our conversation you're very results oriented, and obviously experience matters to you as well. So my next question to you is this: what do you want to bring into the UK film world that's missing right now?
I just want to bring some creative stuff, even as we started with university education, I'm sure they learn, this is all books, how you can film, how you can write a script, how you can just do this. And people who just graduated from filmmaking degree in university, just, open their, conspects and started, let's do this. We need to do this. I think it's filmmaking. This is a full of creativity, and you can do it whatever you like because there is no limits, and the only limit that people who will see it like it. This is a only limit. This is no matter how you will follow these all rules, for me matter is just a final result that people love it and people spread it.
Do you, Mariia, do you have a dream project that you want to create?
I'm already creating this
project. You're creating already. Okay. Okay, I'm going to go next. I'm going to go for my signature talks. Some of the questions I want to ask you. What does identity mean to you?
Identity mean to me, and just stop looking at others, stop listening to other people, and just follow what you like. I think this is a best advice I do. I'm talking, tell myself, and I'm telling others, because now with this all social media, when everyone's showing just a great picture, people see and just see, it's down them, and people just I'm not good enough. No, everyone is unique. Everyone is can do something unique. It's you. And it's not just it's time gone, it's not right time, maybe next. No, you have just today, and you have start today, not tomorrow, not yesterday. Today, it's the day when you can do something which you can, which will change your life. Maybe in 1 week, 1 month, 1 year, who knows?
You're absolutely right regarding about social media, that people do go on social media and they see someone's driving a nice car, nicely dressed, or he's on holiday, and they're thinking, wow, he's living a better life than me. And people then develop that self-doubt. Oh, yes. I can't do it. Or he's reached a higher level. I think you're absolutely right. I see that quite a lot.
Because the person who being behind the camera, I know how this content creates. That's why I know the truth. But nobody, because I see people are really, getting disappointed, and when looking at this social media, wow.
And I think it's also changing our society. I think the longer we do this, I think we're going to have, there can be a lot of miserable people in this world. I think that's a big fact. What one stereotype about Ukrainians you want gone forever?
What?
One stereotype about Ukrainians you want gone forever. You want to get rid of?
Interesting question.
Because come on, you as a Ukrainian, you know there's loads of stereotypes about Ukrainians here in the UK or around the world.
I think there is no stereotypes. I'm not person who is putting these stereotypes for any people. I think it's if you want to do, you will do it, and if you can do this, there's no stereotypes, I think.
Okay.
Even for me, like I never look at anyone, any like rules. Okay, rules. It's good to have rules, but you're willing, like to change these rules if you want, just like to achieve what you want.
Okay. So what about make it easier for you? One thing Brits never understand about Ukrainians. It could be similar to your industry if you want to make it easier.
Never understand. I think it's mostly about different mentality, and it's not about understanding. It's about like just as you are doing right thing, just to trying to British people to understand Ukrainians. It's not about like a big difference between two people. It's about the different, like background. And if you know this background, you start to understand the person much, much better. Why they're acting this. That's why, you're doing your podcast and asking people and asking questions just to British people to understand more what the reason of this, like action or whichever they do. And from my perspective, I show from my background, as I'm Ukrainian, with my Ukrainian roots, I can show Ukrainians from different angle to Western people, for British, just the way how they will understand them. Even, like with my experience when I did this Ukrainian social film, I did this, precisely for Western people. That's why, and I asked the Ukrainians speak English language because I wanted British people to not read subtitles. I want them to understand English and understand that, you see, Ukrainian speaks English very well, and it's a great. And, like it was like a big question for me when we completed the film. We already had some parts of film was in Ukrainian language, and I asked my British friend, can you check please English translation if it's correct? And then she rang to me and said, Mariia, can we meet? Oh, okay, we can meet. And then she's really, like intelligent woman, and she knows a lot of things. And she asked me some basic questions. And I thought, if she doesn't understand this, what about other UK people? So it means I have to be this like a bridge between Ukrainians and British, because I already live here more than 10 years here. And I know not 100%, but, like a little bit deeper than other Ukrainians who just came when the war started. And I have to be this bridge just to try and to explain this like Ukrainian what they're doing, why they're doing, like these all things to British people, because this is like my for film I'm saying it's my mission, just to try and to to bring this and to show from different perspectives, because you know exactly that to be as a narrator you can say one sentence in different like wording, and it will make a different impact.
100%. One thing Ukrainians never understand about Brits.
Maybe because why they're wearing flip-flops in wintertime and with like a hat and scarf over their neck.
That's a good one. I didn't think that you're gonna say that, but that's a good one. What one truth about your creative journey people would be shocked to hear?
Shocked to hear. Let me think. I just want to to think about any funny story. Which I had a lot of different funny stories, but let me think about the funniest story. Okay, let me think.
If you can't think, I can think. Well, I can.
Okay, not funny thing, but like the shock is that I got this documentary project, and it was a really nice project, and I was so happy. It was my first documentary, like commercial documentary, and it was low budget, but still, it's a great case, which just gave me a great boost. But anyways, when we sat in, when we already started filming, we sat there with the client, and he said, "Look, do you know you were my last, in my list, who I have spoken and just to trying to hire a production company." And I said, "Why? What makes you a difference? Why you choose me over your list?" And he said, "Look, when I called you, you were the last, and you just said like, oh, we are going to Africa," and just like, okay, let's go. And I already said, but when what the date? Because he said to me, he contacted 95% of British people and said, "Africa, we're not going there." What the point?
Oh yeah, because I saw it on your social media. That was that 2 years ago?
No, it was previous. It was my second time in Africa. It was my first time.
Yeah, because I saw pictures that you were in Africa. Where did you go?
Angola.
Oh, wow.
So this is like a difference, to be Ukrainian in Great Britain. So I got opportunity here in London, but as Ukrainian, I didn't have any doubt just to go there. Let's go. But here, people just got were offered this job and said, "No, we're not going." This is like a difference.
Very different, because you got a similar story to me. Because when I went to Ghana for the first time, how many British friends of mine said, "What? Why are you going to Ghana? You're gonna get eaten, cannibalism. Ghana's this, Africa's this." A lot of stereotypes. Yeah. But I went anyways, and I had a lovely, lovely time. Where can people find your work? Is it Instagram, TikTok? You got a website?
I have Instagram, I have website, I have IMDb, when you can check my profile and you can see my works. But I blame myself that, all my time I'm focusing on the work, and I don't pay attention for the, this visual stuff, but I have to do it.
Mariia.
Maybe someone will see our podcast, will come to me and say, "Look, Mariia, I'm ready to help you with your website and just to add your works."
Yeah, because that's the thing. Another thing I've seen on your social media is that I don't see no one really invited you, unless you've rejected the offers, where you, in a professional setting, on a podcast or an interview, talking a little bit about yourself to the audience. I never see that. So I thought to myself, why don't I invite you to my show in English? Because obviously you got a big audience on your Instagram, and majority of the people, I assume, all your followers are people from Britain that speak English. And I think it's time, again, I keep repeating this on my podcast, I think it's time for Ukrainians, Brits, other nationalities, Eastern Europeans to sit down on the one table and start speaking English. That this is how we get to learn more from each other. This is very important. So, Mariia, to wrap up our podcast, our episode today, I want to say thank you. You're proof that identity isn't about borders. It's about stories we choose to tell. You built a career in Britain, but your Ukrainian soul is still present in the way you create, lead, and see the world. To everyone watching, if you want to see real cinematic storytelling from someone who built herself from ground up, go follow Mariia and D8R Production. This was Identity Talks. I'm Sasha. See you in the next episode.